Hello friends, welcome back. Today we are going to study operation on real numbers. So first of all, I am going to tell you something interesting, and for that let's take an example, under root 2. So in this under root 2, we can see that this under root 2 cannot be simplified into its simplest form, as it is already in its simplest form, and it cannot be converted into rational, so it is an irrational number. So this type of number which cannot be converted into its simplest form, or it is already in its simplest form and it is an irrational, these numbers are called surd. Okay, now under root 2 is a surd, but if we write under root 8, is it a surd? No. Under root 8 is not a surd because it is an irrational number, but it is not in its simplest form. How? I'll tell you, as we can write it 2 multiply by 2 multiply by 2. 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, and we will take these two in pair and these two will come out and it will like this. Now it is in its simplest form, and we can see that this is 2 and this 2 is a whole number, and this is under root 2, the same number, so it is a surd. Next, if we will take under root 3, it also completes this condition of the surd. It is in its simplest form and it cannot be converted into rational, so it is also a surd. Now the sign which we use in irrational number or in any surd, what does this sign called? We are in the day-to-day life we called it root, right? Or if we say, we understand it, nth power root, right? If the power will be 2, we will find the root of the number. Okay, now but what actually this sign called? This sign is called radical sign. Okay, this sign is called radical sign, and in day-to-day life we use root to express it, as we use under root 2, which means 2 is under the root. Okay, understand? Now we are going to study some of the identities used in this chapter or in the further. We have already studied the identities in algebra, like a plus b whole square, which is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. We use identities to make our work easier, as if we do a plus b whole square, we will multiply a plus b multiply by a plus b. So what we will get? A square plus a into b, like that. We will do a long process. But by using identity, we just only put the values of a and b and we will get the answer. So for that we use these identities, and now we are going to study the identities in this chapter also, like under root a multiply by under root b. So for that we first put the value of a and b and then we will multiply. But now what we are going to do is, we can see that under root ab is equal to under root a multiply by under root b. So if we have to multiply two numbers which are in root, so what we are going to do is a and b will be multiplied and root will be taken as whole or common. Okay, so it makes our work easier. And now same as in the second, under root a upon b means under root a divided by under root b, which means if we have to divide two numbers, now we have multiplied in this, now we will divide two numbers which are in root, so we will take root common and we will divide a from b. Understand? Easy. Now the third one, a plus under root b multiply by a minus under root d. So if we find the number in this form, what we are going to do? we will do a square minus b. How? You know how? This a is not in root, so we already know or we already studied that a plus b, a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. So we can see if we do a square, it will be a square, and b square, it is under root b. So under root b multiplied by under root b is the b. Okay, so we have get the a square minus b. Now the fourth one, like this only, under root a plus under root b multiply by under root a minus under root b. Now what we are going to do? Under root a plus under root b, under root a minus a, under root b. So it is in the form of a plus b, a minus b. So a plus b, a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. A square will be a and b square will be b. So the answer will be a minus b. Simple. Easy. Now the fifth one. Under root a plus under root b multiply by under root c plus under root d. Okay. Now in this we will do the multiplication only, but by this method. How? I will show you that first it will be under root ac plus under root ad plus under root bc plus under root bd. Okay, so we can see that multiplying two numbers a plus b and multiplied by c plus d. So for that what we gonna do is under root a multiplied by under root c, right? We will multiply this number by this. So if you multiply under root a multiplied by under root b, what will gonna happen? The numbers will be multiplied and the root will be taken as common. Okay, so we have got this identity with the help of this identity. Okay, now the sixth one, under root a plus under root b whole square, or under root a plus b multiplied by under root a plus b. So in this we will you can say apply the identity of a plus b whole square. You have studied a plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So in this we can see under root a square will be a. Now a square is clear. Under root b square will be b. So a square b square clear. Now plus 2ab. Under root a multiplied by under root b. So it will be 2 under root ab. Understand? This is easy, right? We can get all the identity with the help of identities or which we have studied in the algebra, right? So all are the algebras only, but the difference is that we have applied the root. So root is, to solve a root, it is such a difficult task. That's why we have come and to form these type of identities to make our work easier in the math, as time is everything in the math. Now we are clear with some of the identities, and now we are going to solve the questions based on these identities. So the most frequently asked question are the rationalizing the denominator, and we can say like identity, rationalizing the denominator also makes our work easier to solve an equation. Okay, so let's take an equation or an example. 1 upon under root 5 plus under root 2. We can see the denominator is in root, so we are going to rationalize the denominator. So let's start by 1 upon under root 5 plus under root 2. So for rationalizing the denominator, we are going to do this is plus. So we are going to change this sign into the minus and multiply this by both numerator and denominator. So I'll tell you how. That under root 5 minus under root 2 upon under root 5 minus under root 2. We have changed the sign and multiply by both numerator and denominator. Okay. Now we can see it will be under root 5 minus under root 2 we multiply this by 1 upon. Now we can see that we have studied an identity. What was that? That under root a plus under root b multiply by under root a minus under root b, which is equal to a minus b, simply. So for that we can say under root 5 plus under root 2 under root 5 minus under root 2. Okay, so what we are going to do is a minus b. A is 5, b is 2. Simply we will minus this and it will come 3. So it will be 1 upon 3 under root 5 minus under root 2. Okay, now we have rationalized the denominator. So hope you understand this. We are going to represent numbers on the number line. We have already studied that how to represent whole numbers or rational numbers on the number line. Now we are going to represent irrational number on this number line. So let's start with an example of irrational number, which is under root 2, which is a very common example. So first of all, let's draw a line like we draw in the number line and mark 1 unit. Like we used to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we will do 0 and 1 only. We will mark 1 unit and now on 0 we will draw a perpendicular. Okay, so this is perpendicular and now we will join these 2 points. Okay, so by joining these 2 points we can see we get a right angle triangle and this is also of 1 unit. Okay, now we get a right angle triangle and we can see that we can apply the Pythagoras triplet on this right angle triangle. So what is the Pythagoras triplet? It is that base square plus height square is equal to hypotenuse square. Okay, so base square plus height square is equal to hypotenuse square, and we can see that here base and height is 1 unit and 1 unit. So 1 square will be 1, height again 1 square will be 1, and this will be hypotenuse square. Okay, now 1 plus 1 will be 2. Okay, and if we will remove hypotenuse square here, we will get hypotenuse square will be equal to 2. Okay, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Now if we will remove this square, there will be under root 2. Okay, so this square will move to the root and we can see that hypotenuse. Okay, so hypotenuse or h will be under root 2. You can say that this line will be under root 2. Our measure of this line is under root 2. Okay, now there is a thing that which is called square root spiral, and for square root spiral you can see that now we will draw a line, perpendicular line here. This will be also of 1 unit. Okay, and remember that this line is under root 2, so we can see that this is under root 2, and if we will join this point, we can see that this is perpendicular, this is right angle, and again we got a right angle triangle. Okay, and this is under root 2, this is 1, and again we can apply Pythagoras triplet on this right angle triangle. So the same formula, but the measure will be changed. Okay, the 1 unit will be 1 unit, but this will be changed to under root 2, and the what is the square of under root 2? So there is under root 2 square. The root and square will be cut. This will be only 2. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, and we can get that if we will move square to root, we will get under root 3. Simple. Okay. Now we can see that we represent 2. Okay, so 2 is a whole number without this root, not along with this root. Along with this root, it is an irrational number. Without this root, it is a whole number. So this, if we will take a number which is in decimals, that we can see that without this root, this is a whole number. If we will take a number which is in decimal, how we are going to represent it on the number line? Okay, so if we will take under root 3.5. Okay, under root 3.5, simple. So for that, what we're going to do is we will take under root 3.5, so we will take 3.5 units. Okay, so the measure of this line from this point to this point will be 3.5 units. Okay, and now we will measure 1 unit more. Okay, and by using construction method, we are going to find the midpoint of this line. For that, put the compass here, mark one cut. Put the compass here, mark the second cut, and perpendicular, we get the midpoint. Okay, we didn't have to draw this line, just we get that midpoint. And by using compass, we have to draw a semicircle. Okay, this is a semicircle. This is not perfect on the board. So this is a semicircle, and from this point, which is exactly the 3.5 from this 0. Okay, draw a perpendicular line. Okay, so this perpendicular line will be under root 3.5. If we have to find the root of under root 3.5, this will come approximate to this line, because under root 3.5 is an irrational number. We can't get the decimal expansion of this, so this will become approximate. So the measure of this line will be under root 3.5. So this is the end of the chapters, and please I request you to practice all the topics and all the things which I have explained in this video. And for any question, comment below. We will come with the next video on the polynomials. Till then, bye bye.